Iran News Now. Iran presidential election runoff polls open. The Interior Ministry reported that ultra-conservative Saeed Jalali and reformist Masoud Pezeshkian began Iran's runoff elections Friday to successor President Ebrahim Raisi, who died in a May helicopter crash. After a record-low first-round attendance, reformist Masoud Pezeshkian and ultra-conservative Saeed Jalali will face off in Iran's presidential election on Friday. The runoff coincides with regional tensions over Gaza, Western conflicts over Iran's nuclear program, and widespread dissatisfaction with the sanctions-hit economy. Iran's election authorities reported that Pezeshkian, the lone reformist allowed to run, received 42% of the vote in the first round and former nuclear negotiator Jalali 39%. Only 40% of the 61 million eligible voters voted, the lowest rate since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader, has urged better runoff voter turnout, emphasizing the second round. The first-round turnout was lower than projected, but it was not a system violation. In May, ultra-conservative President Ebrahim Raisi died in a helicopter crash, moving up the election from 2025. The runoff candidates debated Iran's economy, international relations, poor voter turnout, and internet restrictions twice. Iran's leading reformist alliance, including former presidents Mohammad Khatami and Hassan Rouhani, supports 69-year-old cardiac physician Masoud Pezeshkian, who has represented Tabriz in parliament since 2008. Pezeshkian wants constructive relations with the US and Europe to eliminate Iran's isolation. Conservative Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf and other ultra-conservative candidates who withdrew endorsed Saeed Jalali, 58, a hardline candidate. Jalali, a diehard anti-West, believes Iran can grow without the 2015 nuclear deal. He slammed the pact for permitting nuclear site inspections and violating Iran's red lines. Divided public opinion. Pezeshkian supporters want an open Iran, whereas Jalali backers want national security and conservative policies. This runoff will greatly affect Iran's domestic and international policies. In a May helicopter tragedy in the northwest, President Ebrahim Raisi, the foreign minister, and other officials died. Iranians will vote in a runoff election on Friday. Hardline former nuclear negotiator Saeed Jalali and reformist Masoud Pezeshkian, who supports a return to the 2015 nuclear deal with Western powers, will face voters. A renewed crackdown on required headscarves for women, a proposed fuel price hike, and years of economic stagnation with high unemployment and inflation have hung over the election. How many Iranians will vote on Friday is unknown after a record-low turnout in the first round on June 28. Iranian law necessitates a runoff if no contender receives more than 50% of first-round votes. While 85-year-old Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has final say on all state matters, presidents can steer Iran toward confrontation or engagement with the West. The latest? Supreme Leader Khamenei votes. After former President Ebrahim Raisi died in a May helicopter tragedy, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei voted in the runoff election for a new president. Khamenei stated, "God willing, people will vote and choose the best candidate." Voters turned out less than 40% last Friday. State TV showed voters lining up in several cities and villages. Over 61 million eligible voters and 60,000 polling sites serve 85 million people. Pezeshkian ended 10% ahead of Jalali in the first round, but neither received 50% to win. Iran typically holds elections until midnight, but polls will close at 6 p.m. Who is running in the presidential runoff? Two contenders will compete in Iran's presidential runoff on Friday. Saeed Jalali, 58, was Iran's principal nuclear negotiator under Ahmadinejad from 2007 to 2013. Opponents say his hardline Iran policy is like the Taliban and risks inflaming public tensions after years of economic suffering and major protests. Masoud Pezeshkian, 69, has linked himself with moderate Iranian politicians including former Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif, who helped negotiate Iran's 2015 nuclear deal. Heart surgeon and long-standing legislator from Tabriz, northeastern Iran, Pezeshkian. Jalali supporters have called Pezeshkian's campaign fear-mongering, while Khamenei has hinted at U.S. outreach. Dubai-based Michael Wakin contributed. Iranian presidents have what power? Iranian presidents can only serve 2 four-year terms. Despite tensions with the West, Iran's supreme leader looks to have grown stronger in recent years. A president can bend state policies on home and foreign issues. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei approved the 2015 nuclear deal with foreign powers by former President Hassan Rouhani. Khamenei supported ex-President Ebrahim Raisi's harsh position. Iranian rule, how? Iran calls itself Islamic Republic. In the Shiite theocracy, elected legislators pass laws and govern for the people, but the unelected supreme leader has final authority on all state matters, and the Guardian Council must approve all parliament bills. After hardline President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's disputed 2009 re-election, protest leaders remain under house imprisonment, while security agents answerable only to the supreme leader routinely detain dual nationals and foreigners as pawns in international negotiations. Bloody crackdowns on mass protests have occurred recently. Meanwhile, hardliners control all national authority. The Guardian Council approves all candidates, although no woman has ran for president. It suppresses change by rejecting radical reform candidates.